Hey everyone, welcome back to Learner's World. Today's topic is a quick intro to middle school science. To start with, I just have some of the basic prefixes that are seen throughout the science classes. So first off, we have A, which means without or lacking. To remember this, you can kind of think of abiotic, which would be without or lacking life. Next, we have ab, which is away from. Adipo for fat, so you can kind of think of adipose tissue, which is the fat tissue in one's body. Next we have alb for white, amphi or amp for of both kinds, ander for male, anthropo for man or human, and anti or anti for against. Aqua would be for water, arbor for tree, anthro for jointed or foldable, aster for star, audi for sound, auto for self, bi for two, bio for life or living, bronch for windpipe or lungs. To kind of remember this, you can kind of think of the bronchioles in your lungs. Card for heart, carn for meat, cell for storeroom, cephalo or crane for head, chlor for green, so you can kind of think of chlorophyll, coel for hollow, crone for time, co or con for with or together, contra for against, cyte for cell, so you can kind of think of leukocyte or lymphocyte, just to name a couple cell types in your body. We have dactyl for fingers or toes, D for from or away, deca for 10, derm for skin, so you can kind of think of the dermis or epidermis. We have den for tooth, di for two or double, dia for through or across. Next, we have just a couple things going over cells in the body, or I guess cells in general technically. So we have organelles in our cells, which are tiny cellular structures that perform specific functions, similar to how each organ has its own individual function. A cell is the smallest structural and functional unit of any organism, which is usually microscopic, and it contains a cytoplasm and nucleus enclosed in a membrane. We have plant cells to kind of start expanding on the idea of the cell. So plant cells contain a cytoplasm, which is clear, thick jelly-like material that is also found in animal cells that supports and protects the organelles within the cell. Vacuole, which is larger in plant cells than it is in animal cells. It stores large amounts of food or sugar and water. The nucleus is found in plant and animal cells as well. It's a large oval shape in a plant cell found at the edge of the cell, and it controls cell activities. So it's also like the brain of the cell. It controls hereditary material as well. Next, we have the mitochondrion, which is found in both plant and animal cells. It is bean-shaped with inner membranes. It breaks sugars down into energy. The type of energy it creates when it breaks down the sugars is ATP, which is the chemical energy within a cell. The mitochondrion is also known as the powerhouse of the cell. We have chloroplast, which is only in plant cells. It's a green oval-shaped organelle. It contains chlorophyll, which is a green pigment. So that's why a lot of plants appear green. It uses energy from the sun to make food for the plant. We have the cell wall, which is only in plant cells. It's rigid, strong, stiff outer layer of a plant cell. The cell wall supports the plant so it can grow. It protects cells. It allows water, carbon dioxide, and oxygen through. The cell membrane is found in plant and animal cells. In the plant cell, it is inside of the cell wall. It supports and protects the cell. It controls the movement of materials in and out of the cell. And it maintains homeostasis, which is the condition of balance within a cell. Next, we have the mitochondrion of an animal cell. So you're going to see a couple that are pretty much the same, so just bear with me on this. So the mitochondrion, again, is bean-shaped with inner membranes, breaks down sugar molecules into ATP. So adenosine triphosphate is what that stands for. Again, ATP is chemical energy of a cell, and the mitochondrion is the powerhouse of the cell. The cell membrane is the outer layer of the animal cell. It supports and protects the cell, controlling the movements of materials in and out of the cell, maintains homeostasis, which again is a condition of balance. The nucleus is a large oval shape in the center of animal cells as opposed to being at the edge of the plant cell. It controls cell activities, making it the brain of the cell. It controls the hereditary material. The vacuole, which is sometimes found in animal cells, but there are very few, and they are very small when you find them. It stores food, water, and metabolic waste, as well as toxic waste and fluid-filled sacs. And the cytoplasm, again, is a thick, clear jelly-like material which supports and protects cell organelles. So we have cell theory. So cells were discovered by Robert Hooke, who lived from 1635 to 1703. He discovered them when he was looking at a cork under a microscope and noticed these empty spaces in the cork that contained walls, and he called them cells. Then Matthias Schleiden, Theodor Schwann, and Rudolf Virchow kind of put different pieces together for this. So Matthias Schleiden discovered plants that were made up of cells. Theodor Schwann discovered that animals were made up of cells, and Rudolf Virchow stated that all living things come from other living things. And together, these different pieces from each of them created the cell theory. So cell theory states three things, basically. 1, all organisms are composed of cells. 2, cells are the basic unit of life. And 3, all cells come from the division of previous existing cells. There are 2 main types of cells, which are eukaryotic, meaning they have nucleus, and prokaryotic, meaning they don't have a nucleus. Next, we're going to talk about the parts of a microscope. So, in the picture, you'll see labeled 1 through 14. So 1 is going to be the body tube, which is connecting the nose piece, which is 2, and the ocular lens, which is 9. 3 through 5 is the objective lenses. Each one is going to be a bigger, smaller magnification than the one before, one after it. 6 is going to be the stage clips. 7 is the diaphragm. 8 is the light source. Again, 9 is the ocular lens. 10, we have the arm of the microscope. 11 is the stage, which is what you're going to set the slide on. 12 is the coarse adjustment knob. 13 is the fine adjustment knob. And 14 is the base of the microscope. So the arm of a microscope is used to support the microscope when it is carried. It holds the body tube, nose piece, and objective lenses. The base of a microscope supports the microscope. The body tube holds the objective lens and ocular lenses at the proper distance from each other. The coarse adjustment knob moves the stage up and down to help focus in on the specimen or image that you're trying to look at. The diaphragm controls the amount of light on the specimen or slide. The fine adjustment knob moves the stage ever so slightly to help sharpen the image or the specimen you're looking at. The light source is also known as the mirror or the lamp. It projects light through the diaphragm, specimen, and lenses. And to end on for today, we have the levels of organization. So these are just going to be the biological levels of organization, starting with the cell being the smallest unit of life that serves a specific job or function. The cells then create tissues, which a tissue is going to be made of several cells that are similar in structure and function that work together to perform a specific job. Then the tissues are going to create an organ, and they work together as well to perform a specific activity. Then groups of similar organs or organs that work together to perform specific functions for the organism create the organ system. And the organism is the entire living thing that carries out all basic life functions. Well, that's all I have for today. I hope y'all enjoyed. And if you have any topics you want to learn further about, please leave a comment below. Have a great day.